Redfall is the latest shooter coming from Arkane Austin, the same branch of Arkane Studios responsible for 2017's Prey. Redfall was first announced at E3 2021 with a cinematic trailer showcasing a cast of heroes with special powers fighting off against vampires. However, since then, we've learned far more. This is everything we know so far about Redfall.
Bloody hell!
Redfall is set in the fictional titular island and city of Redfall, set in Massachusetts. The island has come under siege by an army of vampires. The vampires are related to the corporation Avum Therapeutics, whose slogan is "Making Tomorrow Last Longer," and who, as the slogan would imply, are seeking immortality. At some point, they told a girl that her blood could cure people of sickness and death. However, it seems that their testing on her, and potentially other subjects, are what led to the creation and outbreak of these vampires. That army of the undead has created an endless night by blocking out the sun, and also prevented any and all escape by cutting the island off from the rest of the world. Some of the humans who are still alive have joined a cult devoted to sacrificing everyone to the vampires, viewing these vampires as gods created by science. These vampires include the likes of the Hollow Man, Bloody Tom, Miss Whisper, and the Black Sun. Other humans are struggling to find a way to survive the nightmare, stop these godlike beings, and take back Redfall. You fall into the latter camp, playing as one of 4 survivors.
Hey,
There's cryptozoologist and inventor Devinda Crowsley. Devinda wrote a book called Like a Mothman to the Flame, and wants to show the world that the imaginary isn't so far from the real. As his parents didn't approve of his career choice, and with limited resources, he's created all of his own equipment, which you'll be able to use in the game. There's combat engineer Remy De La Rosa. Remy has a robot cohort named Bribin, and at one point, she was in the middle of organizing various survivors for evacuation when either a vampire or cultist snuck in. Thanks to an update she's just installed on Bribin, Bribin fired on the enemy and saved her life. She's now more determined than ever to utilize her skills and Bribin to save others. There's ex-military sharpshooter Jacob Boyer. After his service, Jacob turned to a life of contract work. On one such job for Bellwether Protection Services, Jacob was sent to Avum to recover something, when his team was ambushed by one of the vampire gods. For some unknown reason, the vampire left him with a vampiric eye, and now a spectral raven never leaves his side. And finally, there's biomedical engineer student Layla Ellison. Layla was interning at an Avum research facility when something went wrong and left her with telekinetic abilities. Her and her ex-boyfriend were on their way back from seeing a movie when they were ambushed by vampires and cultists looking to capture her, and she used her powers to fight back. You'll be able to choose to play as one of these specific heroes throughout the duration of the game's story-driven campaign. As their backgrounds indicate, they each have their own unique abilities and skills that completely change the way they play. Layla has a focus on utilizing her telekinetic skills, Jacob on sniping and gunplay, Remy on her robot buddy Bribin, who she'll use to distract or help her to fight enemies, and Devinda on the various equipment he's invented. Redfall can be tackled solo or cooperatively with up to 4 total players. Notably, if you do choose to play solo, the other characters aren't going to be controlled by bots, and you truly will be alone. If you do choose to play with friends, the game doesn't rebalance the combat. So if one character is, say, level 20 and the other level 5, the lower level character may have a pretty hard time. Missions can be approached in a multitude of ways depending on your personal gameplay style. Part of this will have to do with which character you choose, as each of them have such unique abilities both useful solo or if you're playing co-op. You can approach encounters from more of a stealth standpoint and distract enemies to stack the odds in your favor, or even skip certain encounters. Or you can of course go in guns blazing if you so choose. From various previews, it seems like playing the game solo can be an intense and at times frightening experience, whereas playing with a group of friends completely changes the feel to a fun romp with your buddies, tag teaming abilities, and stomping through vampires. Each character has a skill tree where, in standard skill tree fashion, you can unlock progressively more powerful skills with skill points you'll obtain. However, there is no respec option, so once you make a choice on your skill tree, you are stuck with it. Many of these choices, such as not being able to respec or not rebalancing gameplay during co-op, Arkane feels are quality of life elements that have been added to games over the years that actually hurt the overall experience of playing the game. The arsenal of weapons you have at your disposal includes both military gear and vampire-slaying inventions unique to the world. You'll also unlock and find various vampire stakes you can attach to your weapons. Redfall is a looter-shooter similar to Borderlands, with all of the loot color-coded into tiers by its rarity and power. The setting of the game is open world, with Arkane noting that they've packed in details and environmental storytelling throughout. Areas you'll be able to explore on the island include a haunted forest, formerly bustling downtown, and a decimated seaside boardwalk. As you aren't the only survivor, that means there are safe areas and bases, such as a fire station. These bases serve as hubs where you'll be able to rest, resupply, and get new missions from other survivors. As the game is open world, that means you'll be getting both story missions and optional side missions. Some of these side missions might come in the form of encounters you'll come across, such as a brewery that's fallen under cultist control, or otherworldly psychic spaces. One such type of encounter includes vampire nests, which are procedurally generated, so the space and layout within change each time you enter one. To destroy a nest, you'll find a physical heart within, typically guarded by a whole lot of vampires you'll need to destroy. Another side mission includes taking back the neighborhoods of Redfall. By defeating the vampire controlling the neighborhood, you'll reclaim it and make exploring just that little bit safer. Arkane has gone to great lengths to try and make the open world of Redfall feel meaningful, so players will enjoy exploring its many locations. Redfall will be released May 2nd, 2023 for both PC and Xbox Series X and S for $69.99. It will also be available on Game Pass. Players on Game Pass can upgrade to the Bite Back Digital Edition for $29.99, which otherwise costs $99.99. By pre-ordering Redfall or playing on Game Pass, players will receive the Vampire Hunter Pack, which includes a Grimtide shotgun, Polar Vortex multi-weapon skin, and Blood Ravager stake weapon attachment. The Bite Back Digital Edition includes a throwback outfit pack, Redfall Hero Pass to players' 2 future heroes, a laser beam multi-weapon skin, and tactical knife stake weapon attachment. What character do you see yourself playing as in Redfall, and do you see yourself tackling it solo or with a group of friends? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.
So, that was fun, right?